Well, it's a good way to start. Also a good way to start this matchup is to have a look at the veto. Let's go through the process. Let's digest what we're about to see. We've seen Bank and Cafe tonight. Bank is gone, Cafe is gone. We get to see a new and familiar face in the ANZ region, Clubhouse. Bit of a, I don't like using the word staple, but it is a staple in the ANZ region for the most part that we see.
Yeah, and for the thing that happened recently that makes me a bit worried for Kanga is they lost 7-1 to a Nixian on this map just last week. So potential there for Mindfreak, TBD to look at some VODs back and see what it was that a Nixian exploited on this map. Makes you a little bit worried. In fact, it was TBD that actually got the choice. This map or Cafe. Cafe, pretty good map for Kanga. Not amazing. I mean, from my stats here, I don't have a ton of games. I've got 3 Cafe plays, and they only won 1 of them. So, look, TBD got the choice between the two, and they decided to stick with Clubhouse because it's a better map for them, apparently. I don't know. Like, I don't have enough hard evidence, and these teams change so much of their strategies and their playstyle in scrims that we don't get to see that it's so difficult to base predictions off of previous results.
Yeah, one week to another could be completely different. Quick question.
Uh-oh.
What team?
Jack's going to kill me if I don't say TBD, so I got to go TBD.
All right, TBD it is. Let's have a look what the community thought. Let's what you thought at home. Okay.
I'm not surprised at this. Look, Kanga has made a statement last few weeks taking it to Fnatic and Wildcards, so I totally see this as realistic here.
Yeah, that's doable. I mean, I don't think it's doable to the extent of 52%.
I'm 50-50. 50-50 both of these teams. I reckon...
No draw?
That's boring. I reckon just one team wins one map, the other team wins the other map.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it's all or nothing for Kanga. They've taken out what were the better teams. They've had some good results. They've had some bad results. Mixed across the board. They can now come into this with a clean slate. TBD is where they lie, and those will be the gatekeepers for this matchup. It is going to be Clubhouse. We will see Kanga starting out on the defense, meaning it is their band to choose. What do you reckon we're going to see? A bit of a Maverick boy, a bit of a...
Yeah, well, the classic on Clubhouse is Mav and Capital. If either of those operators are left in it, really just prevents the opportunity to Bandit trick. But with Thatcher banned, Bandit tricking and just tricking of wall denial in general is much less important because you can chuck it down static and it's much more difficult for the attackers to remove it in the first place, so you don't have to trick it. Thatcher, also just a super common ban across all maps, not Clubhouse specific in ANZ, so not super surprising to see from Kanga. TBD is going to top it off with the Capital, leaving all 3 hard breaches on the cards, which just leaves a lot of flexibility for these teams. If you could run Maverick and Hibana, you could run Maverick and Thermite, you could run Hibana and Thermite. There's really a lot of variety there.
I was really hoping we were just going to see a Blitz. Just a wild ban.
I want to see Blitz played.
Come on. I feel like on Clubhouse it's just like we expect to see it. I want to see the ban, man. Just give me one chance. Yeah. Just give me something spicy for my night,
Okay, so Echo to top it off. Echo and Mira, name a more iconic duo to sit out and get banned at the end of the day. So that just changes the landscape a little bit in that Maestro is going to very much be in the game. Echo is banned, so IQ not as important, not as essential. Maestro being in the game means that Soft Breach will be essential, and we'll play a Zephyr and a Buck and a Maverick, all of which can destroy those Maestro cameras. But guess who isn't playing Maestro? Kanga at all. They may 6-pick, but I guess with the no, actually a castle. Wow. So the bandit pick was to make it look like they were playing cash when they're actually playing church, because you wouldn't usually pick a bandit for the bottom floor unless you're bandit tricking church wall, which isn't super in meta, especially not when a Thatcher's banned. So they're going to 6-pick onto the castle, which is going to enable a more heavy roam strategy. And what everyone loves talking about these days on Clubhouse is the space station basement roam. It's become a trigger word for me these days. Because everyone loves saying the mute Mozzie combo and the castle barricade. And if we look upstairs, we'll see what's really happening here. Worthy's going to go upstairs and start to place some of these mute jammers, Wayne's going to chuck some mute jammers down, especially on the top floor. We're going to see Worthy chuck his Mozzie pests around as well. This is going to deny droning on the upper floors. We'll also see some castle barricades be deployed over by unit. You can see them in the bar itself, denying the attackers from cutting off rotations. Even reinforcements so far as the top floor at Jacuzzi balcony to prevent people, the attackers, from sitting in safe outside positions and denying rotations. Castle barricade here on the central stairs allows people to rotate up and down main stairs without getting exposed. Even a bulletproof cam here is going to face towards bathroom so that Kanga have info on that. So lots of information and lots of information denial is going to allow Kanga to roam upstairs and retreat back to the bomb site.
All right, I think we've got our big storyline for the round number 1, that's for sure.
Yeah, trying to explain this roam is...
I think you did an incredible job at that, to be honest.
The essay I'll write tomorrow.
I don't know about everyone at home, but I followed along quite nicely. Now we're going to see what the full effect of it will be. A couple of players just hanging around, trying to be a nuisance, but Boats has been caught out in toward bar. Will be executed as well by Cutie. So the opening kill going the way of TBD. Probably not the greatest start and what Kanga were hoping for. Will they stick upstairs? You bet your bottom dollar they will. Both Worthy and Unit going to double down on this.
Opening there for Cutie. Risky position to get in so early, but that does make a huge difference on these heavy roam strategies. Getting in nice and early and ensuring that you have that early presence makes all the difference. Sometimes you just need some confidence on your entries if you don't have that information gathering, as it's been denied by the mutant Mozzie.
That's a nice bit of information on the default cam.
So, hate to see it. TBD not taking out that default cam will help Kanga assist their roamers. The anchors can just call out what sides the attackers are pushing from, and we'll see Unit upstairs take down AP Style, one of the entries. And that's a lot of utility gone as well from the Zafia. Unit still alive upstairs, but Mangoes is coming in for some pressure as well. Worthy here to support Unit though, and Mangoes is a hard breacher. If he dies here, that's so much utility wasted.
It's a very awkward situation for them to find themselves in. Mangoes is going to go ahead and spray and pray. He'll be followed up by Worthy, the old switch and bait. They've got the diffuser as well. They can sit and stay, or they can run away. It looks like Unit might find himself a second, depending on how close he can get. Not close enough. Unit trades out, or rather Jack trades out, but look at that from Worthy. Another one falling like flies. It's all up to Jack Daddy. 1v3, 30 seconds left on the clock.
This is the point where you can just fall back to the bomb site. You can see TBD did have information on that rotation, and Jack Dad's just going to go downstairs. See if he can work anything on the bomb site. It's going to come down to some good gunfights and whether it can have good crossfires established. Jack Daddy falls into a Legion mine, and that gives the Legion information to peek it. A textbook space station information denial and castle barricade roam from Kanga.
You know, I find it very... I found Rainbow Six to be such an interesting game to watch because, I mean, if you were to look at it on a graph and see where all the action takes place and how many rounds, you know, really get decided in those late rounds, this one not so much. This one, all of the action was early to mid-round.
And that's part of the strategy from the defense. The strategy from the defense is we're going to invest heavily off-site and you have to come and clear us out. But we're going to make it incredibly favorable for us, very difficult for you to clear us out by supporting ourselves with utility, primarily the information denial and the castle barricade. Since Thatcher's banned, TBD can't just destroy those mute jammers in one fell swoop. And so TBD have two options, either try and clear out the roam, which is really difficult because the roam has so much utility, or try and hard hit site, which is also difficult because if you hard hit site, you have to deal with the anchors while all the roamers are flanking you. So it's very difficult to pull off.
Barricade up.
The knowledge pool, the knowledge fountain that is Dev Martyr.
Do you want a present?
Yes.
Knowledge.
What?
Knowledge.
I couldn't even hear what you said.
Saying knowledge with an
Oh,
American accent.
knowledge. Knowledge, bro.
Gnarly knowledge.
Say that 10 times.
That's going to kill me. All right, so cash defense next up. We will have the Maestro picks. Like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Maestro no longer has that ACOG. Come on, Leb, show me. Sorry, it's not a cash defense. It's a cash presence on a bedroom defense. Show me that Alder. Show me that beautiful but slightly incomplete older.
Come on.
No,
Surely,
he's
Leb.
busy doing setup. He's being a good maestro. He's not.
No, we don't want him to be a good maestro now. We just want to use him as an example.
Early presence from the Hibana, opening up an angle from the construction exterior wall to cut off rotations in con. Smart move. Meanwhile, the rest of TBD starting to push forwards on this cash push. Droning out Garage. Oh, and Worthy's going to win that fight. Ippy style. Shouldn't be losing those, but default cam was up and no teammates to support TBD. Joker trying to work on this main wall of cash. This isn't the bomb site, it's just CCTV wall. Worthy finds his second, man. He's been popping off today.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
I don't want to say it, but a default cam starting to be an issue for TBD. It was the earlier engagement that I'm referring to, obviously not that exact one. So Joker now looking for the refrag. We'll be able to find the head, but surely they're not going to continue to try and fight this. Worthy can just stay. Doesn't really need to be pushed here. Oh, the grenade. Oh, no, he's all good. I got too excited.
That kill was certainly thanks to the default cam still being up, but he's likely to get traded here. He doesn't secure that kill eventually, but brought it back now. It wasn't the only kill in the mix. Worthy and Wayne go down. I think that was Cutie to find that one, and Jack Dad's going to get revived here. He'll be on very low HP. There's only 3 defenders left, only 3 attackers to make this push work. Still possible. Very difficult to take a lot of ground with this many players left. Only 3 players, 1 being solo, but it's also difficult for Kanga to hold on to extra ground other than the bomb site. So I think they're just going to default off of this cash push before too long. In fact, they have just 1 player in construction.
Oh, and that's going to be Unit running out of construction. Love to see it, but hate to see it for TBD now. They're having all sorts of problems to start with. Kanga have been able to capitalize on quite a lot. Now starting to open up a little bit more here. TBD, 30 seconds left on that clock. They've just been able to drone out into toward bedroom, so at least they have a clear passageway through construction. However, do they? Don't really think they do. They're going to have to try and take a little bit more of a different approach here. Cutie trying to take the straight up engagement. Hasn't been given anything, and this time is dwindling away, Dev.
Ooh. Almost an angle there, I thought, but have to be a desperate entry for TBD. Joker needs to find this, and oh no, it's a 2v1! How does that happen, Leb?
5 seconds remaining.
It's all up to you now. Can you deny this plant? Is Cutie watching the rotation? Plant goes down, and that's a salvage for TBD. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a bit of a yikes there for Kanga.
Cutie,
very nicely done though.
2v3, but a really, really difficult 2v3 to pull off.
Yep, for sure.
And, well, Cutie and Joker managed to pull it off without losing either player. Really impressive stuff. And while Kanga, they got so close, early aggression was on point. TBD were not winning those early exchanges, but because Kanga didn't ramp down that aggression after they found the first few picks, TBD managed to get them all back.
This has been a very confusing start to the match, honestly. TBD looking pretty frazzled in the first, and even in the second, you've got to say. Kanga just had such a good start with that Vulcan Jaeger just being a nuisance into toward Garage, but know how quickly that can change. And now all kudos is being given to the attacking side. Now we're going to see how they decide to hold CCTV and Cash. You would dare say we'll probably see a fair bit of presence across it toward Garage, which we had seen previously.
Yeah, and in some ways it's been meta for a Maestro to play that position or someone with an ACOG, but I expect Kanga might just leave someone else there because the Maestro doesn't have an ACOG anymore, so it's not going to be super favorable, and if he dies, you can't turn those Maestro cameras, you can't use the sniper plant anymore, so probably the next best operator to take that position would be Worthy, as he has the best gun for the job.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Fair enough, Unit.
Yeah, just trying to tighten up the bar. He doesn't like the music, doesn't like Rock Nation.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Righty, the approach right now from TBD. There we go. Now we're learning from our mistakes. We're starting to evolve.
And they're not only looking for default cameras, but also Valkyrie cameras and other utility thrown. It's up to Mangoes to locate that. I think it actually is the Maestro playing in Garage, so interesting choice there. We'll see whether that holds true. Now, TBD going for the Maverick and Hibana combination. As I mentioned earlier, all hard breaches are in the game. And this is something that we don't get to see very often, or at least I haven't really heard talked about on the casts. See how much of a botch he just made of that? The reason he screwed that up was because of a smart play from Kanga. Opening up that wall in such a way, at the top and at the bottom, makes it very difficult for the Maverick player to open up these long lines to do the Maverick trick. And honestly, even if Joker gets all the way along to the left here, I think he's still going to fluff this up. And look at the way the smoke is clipping through the wall. Joker's nearly a dead man.
Jeez, he gets away. Only just as well. Wayne Man was holding that down. A little bit more awkward with that SMG at long range, though.
Is yeah, the wall's actually open, so he did get it successfully. Never mind me, but taking so much damage for his trouble. And that extra bit of destruction on the wall does really make it difficult for Maverick to do his job. And that aided, oh yes! A C4 to finish off. Cutie leaves just the Maverick of Joker. Low HP is the only hard breacher.
It's getting a little bit more complicated for TBD now. Kanga have been very confident on this defensive side, you have to admit. TBD, though, you can see they're starting to make their way through from construction. Worthy, what's the decision? He'll get taken down from behind. It be Style will pick up 2. And that, well, not only does it even out the odds, in fact, it puts them into their favor. All of a sudden, Kanga on the back foot once again.
Trying to execute a construction push now is TBD. There's only 2 players that they have to deal with, and both of them cornered off here at the top of the cache stairs. It's a really strong position for TBD to be in, but if they start losing these gunfights, start losing picks, it'll be all the more difficult. Just 20 seconds left, no smoke babes. But Boats finds that opening kill. 1 for Wayne Man as well. The main wall exterior is open, but it's difficult for Mangos to get through it. And now he's the only man, and he can't get through the wall. A 2 versus 4 for Kanga.
Jeez, Wayne, talk about stepping up at a moment of need. That's a 3K toward the end of the round then. A little bit of salt, a little bit of BM just to cap that one off. Again, it is very intriguing the way these rounds are going. One team is starting to get the early favor, and it swings again. All right, so let's analyze that from a very quick perspective of the trades, right? Kanga start off really nicely. The smoke continues to push back Maverick. They do a lot of damage to him. They don't find the kill. However, Cutie then falls to a C4. Ippy style trades 2, and then it's looking all TBD from there. But then Wayne Man.
Man, 2 versus 4 should never happen like that. They should never be successful there, especially because they're playing SMG 11s, which have such a small magazine size. You're lucky if you can take down 2 players with 1 magazine. You're really doing well if you can take down 2 players. Usually 1 spray takes up the whole mag. So if TBD had maybe stacked more players together, it would have been much more difficult for Kanga to execute those individual picks, those 1v1 gunfights. The close quarters with that shotgun and the SMG-11 close range, that's where the SMG-11s thrive. Now it looks like we're going back downstairs for Kanga's. I don't know, can we call it an SSG roam? I hate it when people call it the SSG roam because SSG is not the only team who does this roam. With Mute Mozzie and Castle, people have been experimenting with this for a long time. Let's call it the Castle Barricade Information Null roam. No, that's just a mouthful. Let's just not call it anything. They're doing this strat that everyone should be familiar with by now. And it worked so well last time. TBD tried to clear out the roamers and Kanga had none of it.
You know what? We'll call it the BMM strat.
BMM. Why is that?
I don't know why I said B. C. CMM.
Castle.
Barricade.
Mute Mozzie.
I had barricade. Yeah.
So, aggressive C4. I don't know what the idea was there. Don't think Boats had information for that. It was trying to throw it over and kill a player pushing from strip, but no one was there, so he didn't have information on it.
A little bit surely droning out now. Unit just still sticking to the guns there with Boats watching. Bit of a crossfire. Excellent potential for the refrag. Joker, however, starting to make their way, or the Joker making his way through. TBD getting a bit of information on this drone.
If he peeks too wide, then he'll be taken out from Jack Dad at the end of the hallway. Joker, though, smartly opening up angles from stock into bar, and TBD, time is slipping away from them because they're hoping that Kanga will peek into these angles, and Kanga so far isn't biting the bait. And they're just going to fall back onto bomb site. They know how much time they've delayed. Know that Kanga is going to, rather TBD, is going to be lower on drones now that Kanga's taken them all out. There is one hatch already pre-opened by the defense, that's the bar hatch, but doesn't really matter at this point. And at 20 left, TBD do have some time to work with, but I think Kanga have completely cleared back to 5 men on site, unless if the Mozzie's still roaming.
They're starting to get a little bit more organised, starting to get a move on. I think TBD, they have figured out the call, the play. You can see Jack Daddy trying to open a bit more of a vertical line.
All 5 on site as well.
This is good for Kanga. 5v5, TBD are going to have to go hard and go fast here. Still 3 X-Kyros left on the Hibana. Starting to make a bit more of an approach. That's going to be Ippy style going straight in toward the church opening. He does have the opening. Oh, he's got 2 players watching him. He's not going to get past Wayne, man, that's for sure. And now TBD going to have to look at a bit more of a different approach. That's not good, Dev. That is not good at all.
Not sussing out who's watching what angle, and Mangoes is looking desperate. Ippy style fatal on the entry. Mangoes will try and compensate, but 3 people shooting at him at once. 2 frags, though, do go for the attacking side. It's just the 2 hard breaches left, both low on HP. Joker dies and gets another one. Cutie and Joker have clutched these before, but Cutie can't plant. And he's in a 1 versus 2. Not enough time to stick this diffuser. Not going to try it. And hoping that someone will push him. Kanga, don't give him the opportunity.
I mean, valiant effort from Cutie, I guess. Like, you at least try to bait them out, but it's not going to happen. Kanga, they hold true to their own form, and it's going to be a 3rd round on the board, Dev. Kanga, incredible work just to slowly buy time there with that small little roam. They weren't as committed up on that 2nd floor as what we saw in the 1st round, so it makes it a little bit more complicated for TBD there. Overall, a very successful round.
Yeah, I like that Kanga varied their tactic there. Previously, they decided that they would hard hold that roam as long as possible. This time, the strategy was to delay time, play passive, play crossfires, and force TBD to shoot drones at you. Eventually make an entry in a more desperate position. By that time, Kanga had already put 5 men on site. Admittedly, it got very close. TBD, most of the kills they got were off camera. We didn't really see where Joker managed those entries, but we'll just have to guess. Castle shotgun on unit. It's meta, I guess. Pulse shotty is meta at least. Be interested to see where unit's actually holding.
Reinforcements in place.
Operators playing shotguns. If it's not about opening up utility, it's usually about holding a very specific location where you know you're going to be favored in that gunfight, where you're only taking close range gunfights, because that's the thing that you're not afforded when you run a shotgun and a pistol instead of an SMG. Then you're not afforded the opportunity to be versatile in your gunfights.
Yep.
You have to just take close gunfights. Is he playing cash with a shotgun? A lot of long angles you can take on cash. A bit risky.
Well, of course, you would expect the Buck making the early renovations for that cash CCTV rather wall as they slowly make their way in now. Mango's just ensuring. What's he spotted there? Nothing?
Might be a Valkyrie camera, because TBD did spot a Valkyrie camera in that same corner last time. Kanga defended this. And Unit is actually playing in cash. Maybe, so he's got impact grenades in theory, so he can deny that. No, he's used all his impacts, never mind. I don't know, it's a curious choice, but
does have the support on his side, so I guess Worthy can just hold the crossfire. Anything that tries to flush in toward cash, they'll be able to catch off. Mangoes, oh no, that's not what you want to be seeing. That is not the whiff that you need. The pre-fire around the corner, it'll be traded out 1 for 1, an eye for an eye. Unit now holding with that Shoddy. Still needs to be careful. Both lines are going to be pushed at the same time. Although it seems, what is Wayne there? No! They've just completely exposed themselves. And Cutie capitalizes on it so nicely. That's disappointing from Kanga's perspective.
Huge oversight. tunnel visioning on that player coming from CCTV, not worrying about the main stairs. Now this is slanted in TBD's favor. Boats and Leb both have fantastic weapons to clutch this out, but TBD have time. They've droned out boats, but no one's watching that rotation, so could have moved. Joker now, he's opened up an entrance at Jacuzzi, unreinforcing the wall with the Maverick trick, and now he's trying to open up the soft part of the wall with his weapon. Leb and Boats both just want to find a gunfight in a 1 versus 1. That's the desperation here, but that's a 1v1. He's not going to win. Cutie steps up massively. 3 versus 1, but Boats gets aggressive right at the right time, and the sub just can't make it happen. TBD lock out that attack.
Yeah, Boats was caught in 2 mines there. Had to worry about the opening from Bath, but also had to worry about the hallway push. TBD, again, these rounds just continue to swap favor, right? A lot of the time we see an early pick, or we see, maybe a kill or 2, and it starts to landslide a little bit more. That exact instance was a 4 versus 3 with Cash being held by a shotgun and an additional player. Just small little moments where things are turning, and it seems to be when it turns mid-round, it's turning for TBD. So whether this is Kanga and they're not completely, I don't know how to word this, completely structured in that sense, the mid-round just seems a little bit chaotic when they finally get that opening.
Yeah, TBD does tend to be able to find those opportunities to exploit weaknesses on Kanga's defense. Main obvious note there would have been when Cutie made that double entry, 2 kills into Cash. Kanga, that's something they can tighten up. It's a bit better communication about who's watching what angle. But they'll go back to Cash. So far they've defended Church and Cash successfully both, and now this is their last round in their defensive half. TBD are yet, as I said, to win this bomb site. They've only won bedroom twice. So, to be honest, we haven't seen that much pour from Kanga on the bomb sites that they've won so far. This Cash did get very close last time. They won a 2 versus 4 with the 2 SAS operators, Wayne and Boats, to clutch it out. But I think that mainly slanted on the fact that Ippy Style found 2 opening kills below, which he's not likely to be able to replicate. We'll see.
We will.
So this strategy here from Jack Dad is instead of mavericking the main wall and then removing because the Maverick, if you Maverick the top and the bottom, it removes the reinforcement.
Yeah.
So instead of removing the reinforcement and then removing the soft wall, they're doing it the other way around. So they remove the soft wall with Bark and then they remove the reinforcement. Same effect, just slightly different, and it means that the Buck doesn't have to be in an exposed position to remove the wall.
We did see that come back to haunt TBD in that last Cash CCTV take, so...
That's right.
It can be a double-edged sword, I guess, if you don't do it correctly. However, I don't think they actually had the Buck to open up the wall completely.
I'm not sure. I don't even know if... I don't remember them doing that last round, but... Unit finds Ippy Style. Man, Ippy Style's been having a rough time. That's his 4th opening death in these past 6 rounds.
Yikes.
Bomb located by attackers.
That's a pretty damning stat, if you ask me. And now, TBD have to bring this one back, but they have not been shy of doing so either. Quite successfully on most rounds, they've been able to claw back into it. I'll start to take a little bit more control now. Mango's just sitting around.
You could see that the Buck of Jack Dad was trying to drone lounge downstairs to find out where these players are downstairs, but he couldn't because of that Mozzie Pest. Great use of utility there from Kanga, once again denying the information. Whiffed C4, denies that kill, but does scare off Mangoes.
Backs out of construction. Unit still roaming around. He could have quite a big part to play in this.
Oh, he's going to go for a really nasty angle through the hatch. That's cheeky. I've not seen this one before. He also now has a rotation. He could even shoot some of these Hibana pellets off or C4 them. Decides to just go for 1, revealing his position. Not sure if anyone noticed, but that likely will still leave a hole big enough to rotate through, and Jack Daddy takes out that Mozzie.
Question is, was it worth it? Well, we'll never know. Right now it's TBD edging their way in. The smoke does find a way to try and deny the play. Oh, wow. No one's watching that. Boats manages to come on through for the clutch kill. Cutie now needs to step up, but cannot do so. It's all up to Jack Daddy. 10 seconds left in the round. It looks like it's going to end 4-2 for Kanga. I don't think he's got any opportunity to have a say here. The second he moves into the line of sight, bada bim, bada boom, forget about it, you're dead. Defenders take it 4-2. Kanga feeling pretty comfortable on the defensive side.
That they are, and look, it wasn't super one-sided. It was TBD's rounds that they won on Bedroom were pretty good. But Kanga, look, if you've got two really strong bomb sites where you're not going to drop a round on either, and you just have that one bomb site that has weaknesses enough for TBD to steal rounds, that's okay, because you're still going to come away with 4. Now the question is, how do they do on their attacking side? Working with their substitute, Boats, he was he played really well in that last round. He got 3 kills, and one was super essential to deny the plant. But on defense, it's much easier to slot a new player into a role. On attack, it's much harder. Attacking in Rainbow Six is so complicated.
Yep.
So much chemistry that's needed and so much communication. It's just so essential on your attacking half.
Do you think more so on a map like Clubhouse that does require you to take certain parts of the map before you progress?
100%. There's so much variety on Clubhouse because, like you said, you have to take map control. There's a lot of roam clearing that needs to be done, especially with the recent meta of this information denial roam that we see both teams are now using. In fact, TBD are going even more all in and bringing the Vigil to boot. And not only do you need to coordinate to that roam clear, but you also need to coordinate use of utility to open hatches, open walls. It's very difficult. We'll see how Boats does. He's on a potentially fragging role on what's usually considered a fragging operator of the sledge. In some ways, the fragging roles require a little bit, they're a bit more universal. You can switch between one team and another, or maybe not be scrimming as usually and still do decent on a fragging role compared to a support role where you need to make sure that you know the exact way that the team functions. It's roam set up upstairs. Kanga trying to cut off rotations.
Style now prone in the corner. Does have a fair bit of support as well.
One of the things that does make this hold a bit more vulnerable is if the attackers decide to rush the bomb site, it is more vulnerable as there are less players stacked there, but it doesn't look like TBD are going to try and make that play. Cutie does a jump outside and finds Boats. A great first kill. That's a sledge gone down. Not a lot of utility lost that the attackers will need. Maybe just to get rid of the castle barricades, I suppose, but...
Oh, wait, the buck's down.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's a shame.
That's a start and a half for TBD, taking out both of the, well, almost a second soft breach.
Yeah, that's right. There's 3 soft breaches, so maybe it's not such a big deal, but... There are some differences in train of thought with Kanga compared to TBD. They're not bringing the Maverick, they bring Zephyr to counter bandit tricking. And they bring the Thermite and Hibana as hard breaches. A lot of soft breach utility though. Triple soft breach.
Yep. Oh, Cutie. Almost getting caught on the rotate there. They're kicking themselves. He will be able to make it back safely though. Behind Paul. Should be able to fall back to site with relative ease now. There's a minute 20 left off the clock. TBD are not even, they haven't even cleared the roam up the top there.
Yeah, and even if there are no more defenders upstairs, it's so difficult for Kanga to actually know that because of all the information denial. We saw a drone whiz past, and there is a roam in Strip of all places. Now, Strip is a very easy roam to cut off if you know about it, but if you don't, and if you let him get past you, It'd Style could certainly execute a mega flank. But he'll have to wait patiently. There's no point going for it too early. He wants it, though.
Well, he's going to see the diffuser before he sees anything else. He's going to be able to find the first kill and back away as well. He'll just sit in toward Pool. There's absolutely no need for him to move now. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to bypass him and then still worry about the flank depth. This looks like Kanga might actually have a fair bit of trouble on their hands.
That castle barricade's also going to protect him from Bar, so he only has to worry about the hatch and the angle to his right. Kanga's just going to go full send on the bomb site, but they're still at a numbers disadvantage, and Joker makes that even more so. Worthy with a good entry, whips out the pistol, looking to find one more, but he can't get it. It's all on Wayne Man, And he can't find a damn thing. It be Style to clean up the last two. The Roma coming in for the mega flank. There was nothing that Kanga could do about it.
Like you said, it is quite easy to cut that rotate off from strip, but if you're not aware of it, if you don't really check it, you're just going to see exactly what's happened there. And the fact that it was also barricaded in between pool and bar, just the job gets 10 times harder for Kanga on that front. So nicely done from TBD to bring it back into the 3-4 region. We will see them go up toward gym and bedroom. We'll be seeing a 6th pick onto the castle barricade for the additional support.
Yeah, and this was the bomb site Kanga just couldn't defend. They're bringing the Maverick, no Hibana.
Attackers need to locate
TBD,
and
as you
defuse
mentioned,
bomb.
bringing that castle, something that is quite popular on this bomb site. Allows for a lot more protection from those dangerous south windows. It looks like we'll see an extended hold into cash, as is very much usual. If Jack Daddy's going to help reinforce to hold that CCTV side. Looks like we might even see Mangoes go for a bandit trick, but with Wayne Man and Worthy both with utility to deny that bandit trick with the Maverick trick and the Zafia trick. Man, we just love the word trick, don't we? It's like the this trick and the that trick. We have Cutie with Pulse Shotgun too, Castle Shotgun too. Man, people love that shotty.
Made us change it, my dude.
Times are changing. Is Mango's gonna trick that actively? No. Interesting.
Just trying to be a pain in the backside.
Yeah, well, Thatcher's banned, so may as well just chuck down some static batteries.
It has been the first, obviously this is the second round, but I don't believe Kanga bought Maverick in the last round, so
No, that's it.
the other way,
Yeah.
you'd be in a little bit of trouble, but...
Yeah. Oh, no! Wayne Man has no idea, but he nearly tapped It Be Style in the head. I'm going to keep watching the angle. It Be Style's been consistently playing hyper-aggressive. And look, it's not working out for him most of the time. Last round it worked great when he was roaming, but he had a lot of patience and he waited until the opportune moment before he went for that flank. I think if he retains that patience in the rest of these rounds and goes for late aggression, that can really work for TBD. Not a lot of presence in Cash, as we can see. It's just Cutie, but he's in Con, not even Cash, playing with this shotgun.
This could be fun.
If he gets wide peeked from the door, he's likely to lose that gunfight.
Still waiting with a little peephole, but playing in the close corner toward bedroom. That could possibly catch out some members of Kanga. However, they, like you said, they've still got to get within range of the shotgun, right? And that's not really going to bow too well from that distance in toward construction opening.
The way to counter the shotgun play is either take long angles or take tight angles, because the shotgun has spread, whereas one bullet from a rifle will kill someone in the head. The shotgun, not the same case. See the progression gradually in from Cash as well. Joker in Logistic, he'll be a hurdle for Kanga to deal with.
Hippie Style was roaming underneath. I'm not entirely sure where he's gone. However, doesn't look like he's too interested in trying to take anything across toward Cash/CCTV at this point. Destruction now being dealt with by TBD. Main man doing the due diligence nice and, I wouldn't say early, but still with enough time left on the clock.
It's a bit late, but if you can cut off this rotation, then you can cut off that rotation. That's super essential. And no, he still hasn't done enough. Where have you missed, mate? Where have you missed? He's got tons of fuel, but Jack Dad finds the first kill. Worthy goes down. That's a roam downstairs.
He's still going to be able to stay there as well. Hippie Style is underneath, just looking directly out of the gym window from that hatch. So the second they try to make a move, they're going to be in trouble. Cutie as well is holding on the sharp angle. Boats takes down Leb. This is not good. Oh no, he's shot at the dead body on the ground. Units now allowed in toward the side. He's going to go deep as well, try and catch off the secondary player. He's going to manage to do so. It's now into a 2-on-3. Wayne Man finds one. Hang on a second. Jack Daddy comes in for the save, and that should be all she wrote. Kanga
Operators, you are out of time.
have just slipped through the fingers of the fat old dub.
Yeah, TBD just held on strong enough, and I think that it was really that patience that they had They didn't really take the fight to Kanga for the most part. There was a roam downstairs playing elusively, and Kanga got caught in that trap. We didn't see exactly what happened downstairs when Jackdad got that opening kill, but Kanga, they made some good progress taking control of Cash, but it wasn't with a fight. TBD never even really held on to it. So Kanga said, oh, this is free real estate, we'll take that. But TBD said, well, you can take that. We're just going to sit here until you waste time and eventually fall into our trap. Now we're at an even round count, and things aren't looking too poor for TBD anymore. 4-2 half for Kanga looks pretty nice, but TBD have proved they have strong defenses on 2 out of the 3 bomb sites they need to lock this out. Heading to Cash, well, it's a highly defensible bomb site, especially with Capitao and Thatcher banned. I certainly think they can make this happen as well.
Well, how are Kanga going to approach this? Maverick, as you said, we'll be able to spot a fair bit of the electronical devices. IQ that's brought in.
Cheeky cam, I like that.
You like that cam behind the fan?
I like it, but I'm a fan. I like it because it's just so basic, you know.
Nothing too fancy about it.
Nice one, that's also.
Oh, with that cam either, that's
pretty basic.
That's out there for everyone.
Probably going to get spotted by boats if he just walks along the roof with his scanner. He'll see that one. Even a player without the scanner.
I was going to say, that one's pretty obvious. That is literally like a pimple.
You never know, though. Sometimes players just don't watch. I like this. So these holes in stock, which unit is wary of, set up by TBD to deny attackers playing inside of stock. Typically, you'd see attackers try to go inside of stock, open up the floor, and put pressure onto the players inside Cash. But TBD opening those holes means anyone inside stock is exposed to the entirety of bar, forcing the attackers to clear bar as well.
They're making a little bit of progress toward the blue stairs. Joker can just continue to be a nuisance down here if he wishes to.
Yeah, there's such a heavy roam. Joker's downstairs so that he can flank any presence in blue or lounge, but we also had the Jaeger Ippy style running around somewhere, not quite sure where. Cutie also very wary of positions down below. He's watching, I believe that's the stock door where the Buck wishes to enter. Cutie's got this with the SMG-11. Look at these holes through the floor. Cutie watching the lounge door as well. It's just so perfect.
This could unravel Kanga the second they step out into the open. And Buck might have been somewhat essential for Kanga here. He might have been able to open up that flooring. If he does walk in, I'm assuming. Will he be expecting that to be watched?
Boats is going to walk in from a different angle, however. Cutie did have an angle onto that doorway, but he's now passed through it, and Boat's likely to use this scanner to get rid of Electroclaw. Can he manage it? The more time he spends trying to shoot it, the more exposed he is, but he gets it. Now Leb's going to try and make this work. The Cade device does come out, but Leb's thermite charge is too fast. And that's the main wall open, so good job from Kanga to execute that. And still TBD haven't killed these players downstairs.
Immediately as well, you can see TBD just invert, go for a little bit more of the garage hole. Nippy style be able to catch off one. Mango's taking down Wayne Man. How long can they hold on the garage? That's the question. 40 seconds. You better believe it's going to be a lot longer than what you'd hoped for. Mango's comes in for a second, and just like that, Kanga get ripped apart on their attack.
That was a massacre, and it was all in garage. I don't really understand what happened there, because Kanga did all kinds of complicated steps, droning and clearing below, and getting their IQ in there to get the Electroclaw off the wall, just so they could open that main door. And once they opened that main wall, that main CCTV wall, they had 4 people trying to push garage to clear these players, and no utility to speak of to assist with that push. The 2 TBD players in garage just held on to that quite easily.
So far, we haven't really seen good signs from Kanga.
No.
Just flat-out statement.
Attack is a bit of a mess.
Hopefully, we'll be able to see some remnants of adaptations being made. Although, TBD going back down into the basement, I do not have the most hope for Kanga right now.
TBD did have a very strong roam game. And they're just going to bring the same strategy once again. Now something that's may make the difference for Kanga here. Boats bringing that Jackal. A little bit of extra roam clear utility. We'll be able to give some positions onto those roamers, at least at the start. As long as you find footsteps, you'll get an idea of where one player is, but it's not always enough. And I don't know if it's going to be the difference maker for this.
5 seconds
Cutie's having a good time.
Yeah, he went off on Hibana on attack. I think he got most of his kills from that.
Yeah, the double digits.
Yeah.
Well, might not even be needing to step up at this point in time. It looks like the team effort on the defensive side is enough.
Yeah. Remember, last round, something that made the difference for TBD was this roamer of Ippy style. He's already taken a bit of damage, and if they can finish him off nice and quick, might spell death for TBD. You can see Kanga much more organized this time, covering each other's rotations, cutting off rotations on that main stairs, opening up the dirt wall really nice and early with Thermite. Even thoroughly droning to make sure there's no one in strip.
Kanga are definitely crossing their T's at this point. Can now start to make a bit more of... Oh, that is very early on. Ippy style had the information, opens up with the impact, and just like that, that's the Jackal off the board. Oh, that's the Jackal off the board.
I know, isn't it ironic that the Roamer kills the Jackal and Ippy style almost wallbangs his way to another one, and still he's allowed to rotate freely inside a bar until he overextends and Wayne Man punishes him. Now Unit wants to find angles through the floor. What's he looking for? Looking for holes in the floor? Trying to peek someone through them? Curious movement there, but 4-on-4.
With that, they can now start to simulate some sort of an attack. Wayne Man opening the original hatch. Oh, wait. Oh, that is mighty unfortunate. One of the players
He's above.
up in logistics. You just hate to see that for Kanga.
And he gets a kill.
TBD are just absolutely playing with Kanga right now. Cutie needs to be careful. There was one coming through from the hatch. There's also one coming up the stairs, but I would say that's job done at this point.
Damage done. There's no more X-Karos because Wayne just used the last of them to get the soft logistics hatch open, which Unit or Worthy or Boats could have opened earlier. Man, it was looking so good for Kanga, and now they're falling to desperation. Unit Doggy trying to make an entrance onto the bomb site, but he's already spotted out and takes a lot of damage for his trouble.
Do have one in church already. Worthy just playing around the backside there. We'll start to approach a little bit more so. Unit tries to take the engagement. As I say that, Worthy does fall down as well. So doubling down on their strats. Wayne Man's been able to push in. He'll be able to find one for free, but I cannot see him getting past that. This is a shutout from TBD.
They ended their attacking half with just 2 rounds, and since they haven't lost a single defense, heading really nicely on through this round.
Impact.
Really excellent start there for Ippy Style as well. Now, if I'm not wrong, they're on to match point.
Yep.
6-4. It's looking really good for TBD. They haven't really showed any signs of faltering on their defense, and like, I've got to say, part of that is Kanga not being completely thorough on many of their attacks. It was a really good start there. It looked like they'd talked about what they wanted to do to fix this church take, and then things just started to slip through the cracks. Ippy Style wasn't addressed in bar, and he was allowed to have an impact on areas outside of bar, with that impact grenade opening up a wall. Fortunately, TBD had Ippy Style overextend too much. Kanga punished it, but then after that, Cutie was upstairs, not addressed.
Logistic and bar, hey? Who would have thought those would have been instrumental plays on a basement defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just...
Well, now TBD are going to have to go back to bedroom, which they have already won. Last time, Kanga successfully took control of Cash without too much trouble, but TBD just held on to logistic and the bomb site, and they didn't even hold on to construction. They literally just held on to master and logistic, and that was basically it, and bathroom. And Kanga just didn't have any way of pushing in successfully. They got refragged down.
Yeah, they just went in dry, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to find anything. I feel like that for the most part, has been the storyline for Kanga. Even when they've looked good, it still has just kind of been TBD pulling the pants down and spanking.
And they lost players on the roam as well. It's just, it hasn't been consistent. It hasn't been a strong execute from Kanga.
Alright, well, TBD, just pretty much like every round we've seen so far, happy to allow Kanga to kind of set themselves early. But they've just been such a nuisance in literally in every aspect. Kanga have just been outplayed. And now TBD are literally 1 point away from taking this first map in the series. Cutie's playing up close and personal with that shotgun.
He's waiting for it to get sledged open, I think, so that he can shotgun the sledge in the face.
Oh, how joyous that would be. It might come now. Oh,
come on.
No, you don't like to see.
Oh no, he messed it up.
What?
Poor Cutie, but there's another shotgun ready and waiting. They don't have to overextend. They have an advantage.
Still feel like they're going to, though, even with that.
It's a long road for Kanga to get back in this game. 3 more rounds they're going to have to take. And all they'll get is 1 measly point for the standings.
Jeez, Ippy Style right now being called upon for TBD. Just makes it outside construction and backs away. Might find himself on a cheeky roam as well, which you can see is now starting to make way through. Mango still with the direct line.
Attackers have located a bomb.
See how aggressive TBD are playing on these windows. Still just waiting for one of these fights to happen. 1 minute left. Worthy taken out by Ippy Style, who dropped downstairs and managed to flank back up.
Oh,
He finds
God.
another one. Surely not. This could be the death of Kanga.
Some serious drywall work coming up.
Leb's going to need to step up here for the rest of the attacking squad.
Loading mag!
Unit and Wayne Man, what can they get done? A 3 versus 4. Ippy Style is low. They have a lot of openings here. Some nice pre-fire to come through from Leb. He is not going to find anything. There is only 30 seconds now. The Myrtle hole will give it at least a little bit more of a tickle. Unit, though, still being able to be somewhat of a nuisance. Manages to catch off Ippy Style. In a 3 versus 3, this has to explode now, Dev.
No time at all, and Smoke Babes will make Unit's entry just impossible. All up to Leb now. An awkward position rounding this corner. Can he even find the first? Not so. And TBD take Clubhouse 7-4.
I mean, had you have said 7-4 is going to be the way that this ends after the first half, I would have told you you're mad. I would have told you that Kanga were looking strong. They ended 4-2 and did not win a single round from there.
Just can't win any attacks, man. No Clubhouse attacks today.
It's volumes for TBD. You can see leading the front, Ippy Style and Cutie. Cutie, I believe, only got like 1 or 2 kills after their attacking rounds. So
yeah, it's pretty funny. He really helps them claw those attacking rounds, and that you've got to credit. Not only did TBD have really good defenses that Kanga wasn't